Hello, I'm playing trains today. Bit over the top, but anyway. So I got the Waratah. I'll just spawn one that's already put together. Actually, Waratahs don't run out here, do they? Gotta go into the city. And start somewhere around Thneedville. Yes, that's exactly where the name comes from, the one you're thinking of. The Lorax. So this is our main boy's Waratah. It has both New South Wales, like the logo, and it also has like a Sydney train skin as well. I like the Sydney Trains one, so I'll just change it all to Sydney Trains. The old one's actually called City Rail, so there you go. Make that the default. There we go. So you can also set the number as well, so I'll do that. So the first two numbers is the sets. Actually no, on this one, since all A sets, the last two numbers is the set number, so you can just type in, I believe it's 6, 3, and then say A42. There you go. I'll only do the front one, that'll do. Yeah, I'll drive. Let's get the Panto up. I can't do that because the train's in a station. Yeah, that makes sense.
Doors closing. Please stand clear.
They sure are. Now I can put the piano up. Yeah, so when I was testing this earlier, I found out that the motor cars, that's actually where the sound comes from, just like in real life. Didn't think they'd actually do something like that. That's quite a cool feature. Which means if you're up to here, the sounds of the motor will be a little quieter, just again, just like in real life. Currently on the my version of the T4 one. So what it is, so this is Thneedville here, it's based on Hurstville, and then pretty much every other station is sort of freelance. There's a yard here which I don't really use. That'd be if freight was going off the branch line here. What they do, they come in here, they drop off their wagons there, take some back up the branch line, or, you know, they could come in here, change locos, and then go back the other way, or change ends or whatever, and then go back up towards the colliery and also sort of inland. It's a also a container terminal and grain. There's actually a grain silo and a flour mill out that way. So there's also, oh, there's a flour mill out that way too. So you could have a grain train come in and then change ends and then go back up towards the flour mill. Folks driving the train now. Yeah, so it's 4-track main line. You've got the up main, down main, and then up inner city and down inner city. So this is meant for trains like Oscars and V-sets. You know, they just go through all the stations. They don't stop at every station. But this line does. Yeah. Something that was kind of an afterthought. These two sets of lines actually swap over in a couple of stations. So this station here, which is called Watonga, it's got 3 platforms. One for the up main, one for the down main, and one for only the up intercity. What that's for is you can terminate a train here. Just can't do a stop before I say any more. Yeah, so you can terminate a train here on this track, and then there's a signal here. I need to figure this out because this point is only used for getting into the yard, nothing else. So that's why it's got a shunt aspect, but I'm not too sure if I need these 2 lights as well. But anyway, it's 50 kilometers into here. There's a bit of a head shunt here, catch point, so you don't go onto the wrong line, because this is actually only for down trains. You can't enter this bit of track from this unless you get a shunt, which no, you can't get a shunt, so you can't actually get onto this bit of track. You're not allowed. This is a fixed red, as it says there. And yeah, and then you can just back your train into one of these sidings here, terminate your train here, and then if you want to come back out, you go in here and then use those points. And then if you were going the opposite way, you'd have to go into here. If you're going to go off, because that over that way is going to be towards Sydney, or what I call Dallcastle, it'll allow you to go off that way, like either way, so you can go on the left here, or you can go the left up that way, but you can't go on the right hand of either side because they're single direction. So what you can do is you can go into the platform here and go off towards Dallcastle, but if you wanted to go into the platform and then go towards sort of Wollongong, or not Wollongong, yeah, like Thneedville where we just were, you can't really get onto there. There is a crossover here, so you could theoretically do that, but it's not signalled for it currently. There's also a little shunt signal here. I can't remember why I put that there. But yeah. Anyway, let's go to the next station. Yeah, so I'm just going through. I want to show you a few of my stations. Oh yeah, there's a lot of like, I actually put a proper like town scene together and everything here. There's a swimming pool, there's a Coles, there's a little corner shop next door, which Coles probably steals all their business. There's a toy shop, real estate, newsstand, butcher, a few other miscellaneous shops. There's a BP, 7-Eleven, the obligatory McDonald's, car wash, and I think this was a KFC, but the asset that I was using isn't on the download station, and I recently went through and deleted everything that's on the download station because I wanted it to be easy for people to install. So yeah, so KFC's not there at the moment, but I'll find one that's on the download station. I'll put it back on there. So yeah, that's a bit it. I didn't go too far out because you know, my thinking is, I'll just probably pause the game before my train derails. My thinking is, if you're sort of on this platform and you're looking out, there's not really a whole lot to look at. Like, I probably could add a couple buildings back there, but That's about it. So out this way, so there's a river. I don't think there would be any, there. I mean, there could be some like buildings over here as well. So that's something I'd probably look at doing at some point. So this area, so this is what this is. So if you think about it, oh no, we're looking that way. So see here, this is Portsmouth. So that's Lithgow. My version of Lithgow anyway. And out here, so this is like this is the branch line. Very much not done, because I don't really go on it, so I haven't felt much of a need to work on it. There's a couple of sections that I have finished. Main reason for that is I actually spliced this darker green section in to the existing part of the route. So this station Cliffield here, which is, I'd say it's pretty much done. Got a little TFNSW sign here, little lollipops. That's floating. I don't remember that being floating. I think there was a concrete asset that I had underneath there. You see someone's parked their bike there. Plenty of cars. There's a Fanta sign here. And yeah, just some basic little streets and a few houses. So this, I'd liken this to like Berry sort of area. Berry, New South Wales, or Gerringong. You know, not a massive sort of town area, but you know, not too far away from the city either. There's also this here. So there's the Boris gravel. It's actually Boral gravel in real life. And I'd say this is more like Bombo. So that's what that's meant to be. And then Ellsbridge. Not too sure what this could be. It's yeah, again, it's not really based on real stations. It's just sort of spliced in. Yeah, so very much not complete, this part. So yeah, so this section of the route is based in 1950s NSWGR. So you've got the old point rodding sort of setups they used to have, and then the yards like the throw over levers. Got a goods platform there and station. I don't think I've actually put a station building yet, so well, it looks like it was another case where it was on the download station. I don't think I actually had a building there to begin with. Yeah, you've got the Thomas buffer stops. And this is back on the original part of the route, so it's a little bit more complete. Oh yeah, so we're going back. Yeah, then that goes sort of, yeah, that just rejoins the main line there. So that's that. Anyway. This station's based on Dulwich Hill, where it's got the goods lines going past, and you've got a platform that looks like it used to be used, but there's just a fence there now because that's only for goods trains. Whoop, gonna overshoot. Yeah, the brakes on this thing are a bit weird. Yeah, good enough. Yeah, so the thing about this is, so The goods lines are also the intercity lines, because the inner city there's only one train every hour, just like the South Coast line. There's only one train every hour, so they don't really need to have many
Doors
trains
closing.
going back and
Please stand
forth,
clear.
so that's a perfect spot to put a freight train. And this is my Suburban track, which it's only for like stopping trains. So pretty much, if you're on this track, you'll stop at every station. Actually, get a freight train going past. So I'll put together what you might see coming out of the power plant. I always forget how to type these in. 81. Now we got 12. 3 of them. HVF. Oh no, we want PACNet. There you go, get a string of these together. Near me, southern New South Wales, they predominantly use the NHFFs. Because yeah, like these NHVFs, they're for Hunter Valley, which this route is. Some parts of it are based on Hunter Valley. I wouldn't say it's 100% Hunter Valley based. All this track's in the donkey. Have to fix that. I think I chose it. Should probably get on. Oh yeah, that's alright. Yeah, so here's the dealio. So this is the end of the Suburban track, because it actually changes over. So I've got to go here. Because now the inner city and suburban lines are swapped. I probably will fix that at some stage, because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, why would you swap the trains over? Why not just have them both on the same side? Main reason for that is these platforms. There's 2 on this side and only 1 on that side, so it would make more sense if this one was on that side. Just have suburban trains continuing on this, and then have your inner city on this side. Inner city would probably stop here, but not like it'd be like an occasional thing. It's definitely not a suburban train. Yeah, so there's a coal train leaving the power plant. It's just unloaded its coal. And that will be going off to the St. Coloratura Colliery. So I can actually show you what that is. Yeah, past Milford, St. Coloratura. So this is where that coal train would be loaded from. There's a 3-aspect shunt signals and accept. You've got a point to get you from the down main, also the up main, onto the down main. That's for exiting trains only, because like most of the route, it's completely single direction. Well, I say completely. Like, there's some parts that aren't single direction, there's some bi-direction. I don't really use it in trains that often, because I've found that AI trains, they love to get each other trapped. So if you have one coming on this track that way, and then you have another one coming on the same track the other way, you'll have a signal here and a signal here, they will actually stop, and you'll have a what do you call it, a Mexican standoff basically. So it's alright, it'd be alright if it did it here, because you can just change the thing over, but sometimes you've got no points, and then you've got to grab your whole train and move it onto that other track, which is entirely unrealistic, so I hate doing that. So yeah, try and avoid bi-directional in trains. Like, it's a really good idea. Like, if you've got a slow train on the left, you want your fast train to overtake it, you can just go, oh, okay, I'll just go on the other track. You still only need 2 tracks. You know, if you've got no trains coming the other way, why not just overtake it? But it doesn't really work in trains, because again, the AI just gets each other stuck all the time. So yeah, so that coal train's empty, so to go up here, follow this track, round here. It's a nice winding, so this will be only about 1.5%, so not too bad. So yeah, so it's got some tracks here. If you've got a long train, what you can do is you can sort of load it in stages. So if you pull in here, drop off your wagons here, you can pull forward, back in, drop off a few more, then uncouple that, and then back in the rest of it, and then you can load a quarter of your train, and then back it out of the way, another quarter, back it out of the way, and then just go on, and then you can load a longer train, but you don't need such a long sort of area. And it has operational interest, which is something that I strive for when I'm making trains routes, and if I was to do HO scale, I'd probably do the same thing too. Just makes it fun to operate. And this area, so turntable used to be here, but it wasn't on the download station, so I got deleted. Old engine shed. So the original idea for this colliery was mainline train would come in, drop off its wagons, and then it would just take a loaded train out straight away. So you don't have to wait, it's just already ready to go. And that's the job of this shunter. There'll be a shunter here, come in, load all the wagons for the next train, and then as soon as the train arrives, it just takes it away. But the way I operate it currently is I just pull in a mainline train, the coal train you just saw, come in here, load up, and then go straight back out. Yeah, it's just a little bit stuffing around if you do that with the shunter, I reckon. So yeah, that's my colliery. This is St. Coloratura Colliery. So there's a conveyor belt under here, so what in real life there'd be like a pit over this way, so you know the coal go underground. Or actually no, it wouldn't be a pit, it'd be a just like an underground coal mine. And yeah, and then they just load it like that. Yeah, so this is Warramgurra. So a lot of the station names, they're just like Aussie sounding syllables mashed together. They may inadvertently end up being actual town names, but if they are, it's not the intention. 99.9% of this route is fictional. I don't really like building prototypical routes because I just like the freedom. If you spend all your time trying to get the track completely accurate, and you know, Hornsby's got 39 sleepers in row A, and this one's got 40. I've got to fix it now. I don't like that. Especially because, like, I know what it's supposed to look like. So, if you know what it's supposed to look like, they call it the curse of knowledge. If you know what it's supposed to look like, and then you go and make it, and then it's not accurate, it's just gonna annoy you, basically. So yeah. So, what was this station called? This is Magnus Stultus. That's Latin for big idiot. I thought that was funny, so that's why I made that. And it's got a car park here, so you can park your car and you can walk. The idea of this is you walk straight into the station. You don't have to like, oh, go down the elevator or go down some stairs and then walk all the way along. No, you just have an elevator here. You just walk over to the elevator, go up to the thing, or you can go down the bottom if you want. That's for all the wheelchair guys. That's how you get up. Looks a bit steep, but elevators are expensive, so sorry. You can see there's plenty of people waiting for the train here. It shouldn't be too long now. Oh yeah, these are really cool. So these are the Opal smart card tap-on stations. I can't remember who made these, but if I find out who made them, I'll put it down below or underneath. And there's a top-up thing here too. Yeah, it's very much like a modern sort of route. Here we go, here comes the train. Brake. Pulling in. Yeah, if you haven't figured it out already, we're going to Dallcastle, which is Sydney Central. Going to go through the Suburban platforms. So the way this route works is when we get to Dallcastle, the train just goes underneath a tunnel. So that in real life that'd be the city circle, but I haven't made that yet. So at the moment it just goes into a portal and disappears. Doesn't come back out. So if you want to start a train from Dallcastle at the moment, you have to spawn one on the platform or like on the bridges before the station. The signal's on the right on this one. I might put a single entry over the whole lot. But something I struggle with is signals and speed signs, because it's very complicated. So you might think, oh okay, just set the speed to how fast the train can go. Well, that's already complicated, because this train, that can stop in about, I don't know, 800 metres. But something like a freight train, that needs about 1.5 kilometres or more, depending on how heavy it is. So you can't just set the speed to the track, because then the freight trains, if there's a red signal, they're not going to be able to stop in time. So you've got to also set the speed sign to the type of train, because it's going to take longer to stop. And then also, if you've got a signal that's like really close to another one, then you've got to have that. You've got to keep that in mind as well. Yeah, there's no so most of my stations are set up with the AGS Invisible Station Assets. AJS, that is. This one isn't. I haven't done it yet. I've done it up with a bit of a car park and that. With the lampposts and... Oh. There we go. So yeah, I have to open the doors manually. Yeah, put the lampposts in, all the seats, station building of course. Needs a footbridge. Or I could do like an underpass as well. So the people are on by now. Close the doors.
Please stand clear.
Also need some more catenary here, gantries. Yeah, it gets a bit tricky because this is 5 tracks wide, and these signal gantry or catenary gantries only come in 1, 2, or 3, or 4, not 5. So this over here, that's a Bright Star Hotel. And yeah, there'd probably be a casino on that in there as well. Who knows? And there's a bit of a tram line over here. Not much to it at the moment, just a loop. And at the other end, oh yeah, it veers off. And you got a crossover here, so you can go near the platform, and then it's Mercer Street, which is this street. Looks a bit hilly. I'm gonna have to fix that. Yeah, so there's a lot of houses here because we're getting close to the city now. So this is Cabolo here. That'll be our next stop. Right, so we go now. Yeah, there's a few shops and stuff around here. That'd be the old station master's house. Or like a slightly bigger one. Maybe it could be a scout hole on that too. I don't know. Get a H set going past. So that's the inner city lines. So yeah, that's because they swap over at Warragara. Bit of a shot. You're so nice. Oh, those people having a swim in the platform. I'm just going to fix that right now. That looks dreadful. Yeah. Save that while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, it's a bit buggy. You need to place an object so you can save the route. Let's get a K set coming in as well. Love K sets. there's not many silver sets left that are still relevant, so. Oh, they're all gone. I used to have track marks for every station so it stops in the exact right place. So, I forgot to do that. Anyway. There's a house going up there. Some people are hanging their washing out. Going past. Yeah, got 80 from here. It's very straight. Game's not fitting in the screen. Let's fix that. There we go. I've just sort of scattered houses everywhere. I haven't worried about placing them down because that would take ages. I don't really have the patience for that. There's a permanent way siding here. And there's another one on the left. So it's not much. This one's Charleston. You know what that's from? Ever seen Futurama? Mr. Bloody... you know, Charleston Chew. Charleston Chew.
Doors closing. Please
I
stand
really like
clear.
a Charleston Chew. That's what that is. Anyway. Can't remember his name. Oh, Richard Nixon, that's what it is. Literally just head in a jar. He just sounds horrendous. I'm not sure he actually talks back in the day. Sounds like a cartoon character. Made sure to place plenty of gum trees down. We don't have a home like gum trees. Lots of people at the station too. See, the reason why there's so many people here, so this isn't how the station's meant to be set up. I guess it'll be set. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, so this station, because this route is like constantly running now, because in Trains 19, the way you can do it is you drive the session, then if you want to edit something, you can just go straight in, like I've already done a couple of times in this video. And you can swap between them, right? So imagine the game's running for 10 minutes or so while I'm playing Trains, and then I go to say, oh, I'll move this tree around, or I'll add some more houses, or straighten these houses up while that one's in the road. As I do that, that 10 minutes adds up, and then it 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 adds up. All of a sudden, this session has now been running for 63 hours. And all of these people have been waiting here for 63 hours. Now, they're not real people, but imagine if this was in real life, they'd be very, very pissed off. I think they'd probably give up, honestly, after about 30 minutes. But these people really, really, really want to catch the train, so... Cat's being a nuisance. I don't know if you can hear that. What he likes doing is, so we've got a screen door like everyone does, and what he'll do is he climbs up the door with his claws, and that makes a racket. And imagine like his little paws going up, dong, 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 dong. He does that. And then, after he gets to the top, he goes, meow, 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 and then he climbs off, or jumps off, he bounds off. He kicks his legs off, and it's just like, boom, really loud on the door. And he does that over and over and over and over and over and over until someone lets him in. He is an absolute nuisance, man. Oh, we put him outside because he thinks the house is his toilet. And then he just does that until we let him back in. It's fucking sad, man. It really is. Don't even know if you could hear that, but that's what that is. Oh yeah, this bridge here is semi-new, because I used to have a suspension bridge going across here, and it was like probably twice the height of what this is. And the reason for that is, so if the port is actually over that way, so if you have ships coming out, obviously you want to be able to get them out to sea, which is out that way. So this bridge was like right up in the air. And the problem with that, while it was really cool, this gradient, look at how steep it is as it is. It was like much worse, and it looked really silly. So I opted for just a shorter bridge like that, and that looks more like sort of how it is at Meadowbank, except it's got 4 tracks instead of 2, because the other one's actually a pedestrian bridge. So I think it used to be a rail bridge at one stage. But yeah, mine's just 2 tracks either side. Now, you can see off in the distance there some buildings. That's the Dallcastle CBD. Oh yeah, I am. This guy's waiting. there's a V set going off to the inner city platforms. I hope. There's a petrol station right above the station, so I thought it was pretty cool.
Doors closing. Please stand clear.
And there's like an access sort of right behind the petrol station to get in. And just like what Magnus Stoltis has, there's an entrance into a car park there as well. And there is sort of like a proper car park over here as well, but it got broke a little while ago, so this is why we have express trains, ladies and gentlemen, because this train, even though it was behind us a while ago, is now pulling into the platform. And we're still back here. Now, I love my beer. So we've got a For the Love of Beer sign here, to his new. Very nice. There's a red signal there, but it's only because that's changed the wrong way. Can't do anything about it now because it's approaching the junction. Just fix all the others. Yeah, so this might look familiar to you. What do you think this is? Time's up. It is based on Sydney Central. There's all this inner city platforms. So track works not the same, which is why I called it Dallcastle and not Sydney Central. But it's more or less based on it. Sort of done like a similar thing. So in the real central, we've got some like little cafes. You can come and sit down and have something to eat or drink, and then get on your train. There's kiosks here too. And then this would be for like an XPT or Indian Pacific, something like that, or like some explorers. And then you've got these tracks, which is exactly what I'm using it for. So the line out that this came from is based on the Blue Mountains, more or less. It's got a bit of the South Coast line mixed in, like how I've got Thneedville there. That's on the Illawarra line. So yeah, it's got a bit of everything on that line really. But yeah, you've got your inner city trains. They can all use any of these tracks here, or you can have like some Suburbans in there too if you want. But yeah, mainly the Suburban trains use these ones over here. So the idea here is, so in real life that'd probably be similar to like an airport line. What I've got it is, so trains, freight trains, they'll use one side of the port. This is probably going to get moved over here because of the bridge. But the freight trains will use this side of the port. There's actually still works over here too. And then the passenger trains will use this side of the port because there'll be like a cruise terminal and that kind of stuff over here. So that's what that is. So that's not an airport line, but a seaport line. And then that just goes off there. Probably not going to model that because I'm trying to focus on one line. Because I think it's better to have one good line than 6 really shit ones. So yeah, so that's the port line. So you've got the up and down Suburban, and then you've also got the up and down this is actually tracks. So these two tracks here, these lines go out to a place called Jindabyne, and also goes down to a place called Elbourne. What do you think that's based on? Time's up. Melbourne. So that's what that's for. And you've got an up and down times 2 for that. So you could have inner city going off towards Melbourne, and then you've also got the Suburban as well. Yeah, so anyway, so those Suburban trains, they can come in here, and then they can stop at the Suburban platforms too. So that's sort of like the Jindabyne line platforms. That one's going to be the Thneedville line, and that's the Port line. So yeah, 6 platforms. The real one has, I think, 8 or 10. There's a couple more. Yeah, again, like the tracks and the platforms, they're not exactly the same as real life. Yeah, I just don't want to limit myself. I just want to do what I want, sort of, you know. Pull it in now. It's actually accurate to Central. Just millions and millions of people. Everyone wants to get on the train in Central. Yeah, no continuing here yet. In real life, yeah, just haven't got around to it yet. Oh jeez. Yeah, the reverse is really weird, man. You can like make it go the opposite direction, you haven't even got any power applied. But yeah. So yeah, so made it to Dallcastle. So, oh yeah, there's another tram line here. Don't think that links up with that one. No, it doesn't. So this is, if you like, this could be like a. Oh yeah, this is based on the new line. How you go off to sort of the eastern suburbs sort of area in Sydney. So that's what that's kind of based on. And it goes under the railway lines like that. And instead of so the L1, the Dulwich Hill line, which just goes straight into Central, what I've done is that line just shares the same one as the L2. So what you do is you just have double capacity on this one stretch, which would be really good. And then you got like a, what do you call it, like Eastern Concourse kind of thing. But if you look at the compass, it's actually to the west, because on this map, Central's pointing the completely opposite direction. And the reason for that is I didn't look at the compass when I was building it. So, yep, it's pretty much fixed to facing south now. Unless I select the whole route and change it around, which I don't really want to do. So, for now, that's how it is. Yeah, anyway, well that's a suburban run from Thneedville to Dallcastle. So there is the inner city one as well, but I've already kind of made a video on that. So I could probably redo that. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you didn't get too bored, and I'll see you next time.